Good evening all and welcome back to the channel. Right, today's another instalment on the trials bike build, but before I get to the main part, I just want to highlight I did make a mistake. Not a big one, it's sorted now. I will spin around and show you. So there's the bike as it's built, and obviously as you can see over there, there is a second set of yokes, or triple clamps, whatever you want to call them. So basically, what had happened, I had ordered a set of 40mm yokes and 38mm forks. Now, to be fair, I should have done a bit more research on before I bought it to realise that there were two different types of fork setup and yokes for the GasGas Pro. I didn't know that there were two. So when I had bought the yokes, in my defence, there were no measurements on there. They just said that they were for a GasGas Pro, da da da. So I bought them. And then I went to buy a set of forks, which said they were 38mm GasGas Pro, so I bought them. Only to find that there was a bit of movement in them. They were tight, that there was way too much movement. Then I realised straight away that it's the wrong one. So anyway, upon a bit more research, I realised that there are two, and the difference, these ones here are the 40mm, the ones that were on the bike. I've had to now take them off. I did actually look at getting some 40mm forks, but they are extremely expensive for the build I'm going to do. So I just thought no. So I've got these, I'm going to sell these now. A bit shame really, because they are a bit nicer. I put them side by side just so you can see there is a bit of a difference. I'll straighten it out slightly. Now, upon looking at them, these are bigger, heavy duty. They do look better. But yeah, they are slightly bigger. Now, this is just sort of a heads up. This is before the main video goes on. Just a heads up for anyone that is doing this. I think the note with the 38mm is they've got this gap here on the bottom yoke, whereas the 40mm don't have that. These are normal standard size handlebar clamps, whereas these ones have fat bar clamps on as well. These are considerably more expensive as well, the 40mm, so I paid approximately £60 for these, and I think it was like 35 for these ones. So there is a price difference there as well, so just want to note, they both fit perfectly, but of course, to get the right set of forks at the same time. So yeah, not an issue, rectified now, and after this I will be putting the forks on there, and that will be the next instalment. But just a heads up for anyone that is doing that, bearing in mind there are different setups out there for the same bike. So easiest way is to ask, measure them, vernier caliper, get inside 40mm, 38mm, then you know. So yeah, oh well, problem solved anyway. So I'll cut away now, and we'll carry on and get the forks fitted. So I'll catch you in a minute. Okay, so just cut straight back into it. Got the forks now, so just going to show you what I've done with. Actually, these are original TXT Pro forks. I have actually sprayed them up black. Nice. Put them in the light a bit so we can see. Sanded down coat of primer and nice shiny black to match the swing arm. So yeah, they've come up very nice indeed. I'm also gonna paint these black at one point. I'm gonna video that. It's just an extra to add to it. Yeah, so we'll get them on. I'll try and set up the camera again so we can actually see again without it tipping. That's roughly there, isn't it? But without it falling, there we go. Yeah, we can see. Lovely stuff. I'll do. Yeah, if it falls, please forgive me. Yeah, anyway. So of course I've opened them up. These are nice. I've tightened these on. Not tight, but just enough, so I'll sort of work out some torque settings with those. But basically, the way we're going to put these on is just to work out which way they go. So these two parts here, you can see them for the mudguard, they want to be facing inner, so basically facing each other. So of course this one's going to go on this side. The actual spindle hole there, as you can see, needs to be facing towards the bike. So we'll be facing out like that. And then simply, we're going to slide it through the bottom, all the way to the top, if it will allow me. Push it back slightly, there we go. Give it a wiggle, might be a bit tricky, I suppose you could use a bit of something on this to help. Give it a wiggle up there. All the way, bit tricky, bit wiggly. It's going. Hold that, drop the other fork. Right. No, that's alright. No, it does not damage the paint, as long as it's not damage the paint, it's fresh clean paint. So yeah, give these a nice wiggle. I could use something heavier, so I'll put the WD-40 on there, something just to help it. Of course, as it's approaching the top, I want to pop that in place and let it lined up. There we go. All the way in. There we go. Going now. Watch the bike doesn't fall off the frame. Gets a bit tricky. This is the hard part. This is where it needs some proper wriggling. It goes nicely though. And there we have it. Right, so hopefully that does. There's too much weight on it, isn't there? Right. So carefully just pick this other fork up because I just dropped it. Hopefully I haven't damaged the... No, we're good. Damaged the paint too much. That'd be a bit of a nightmare, wouldn't it? Lovely stuff, right. Oh, it's not going to stay, is it? Ugh, right, hang on. Let me just try and prop that on there temporarily. Lovely. Hello. Right. We'll just quickly talk through this now. Putting these on, you can see, so they're in place at the moment, just the one. Like I mentioned before, as you can see, of course, back of the bike to the front. That's the wheel spindle, the bolt hole. For that, of course, that's going to be facing sort of forward to the bike. These ones here I mentioned for the mud guard, they want to be facing inner. So if I just pan to the front of the bike, as you can see, they're going to be facing inwards because the mud guard's going to sit on there. And then these two are for the caliper as well when they eventually do go on. So you just want to make sure you get them the right way, otherwise you'll be fiddling around doing it again. And when it comes to actually putting them on top, now I'll have to double check. Oh god, I don't really think there's weight on that now. I have to double check with this, but when actually putting them in, so at the moment it's just only a couple of mil for the top. Of course, they both have to be exactly the same, otherwise you're going to be unbalanced. But I do believe it's sort of down to personal preferences. There are different characteristics in the steering depending on the height of the forks. Now, as a rule, a couple of mils like that, 2 or 3 mil, I will be double checking, and if it does need to change, I will change it. But for now, I am simply going to leave it. Let's prop it back up again. Oh dear, bear with. Oh, here we go. For now, I'm simply going to leave it at that sort of height, and then I can, like I say, change it. So, but I think that'll be fine. Just a couple of mil from the top. You don't want it sort of completely flush. So as long as you're pushing it up, you can see a little bit of the metal part coming through, and that'll be absolutely fine. So I'm going to get the other one in there now. Just check them to make sure they're sort of lined up. Is the same gap between the two, as lined up as it can be, and then I'll tighten them up for now. And of course, when it comes to it, loosen them up and double check, and if needs be, adjust it. But yeah, that's that done. So I'll cut away, get that done now, and I'll pan back once it's in. So yeah. Right, so that's in. Both of them are in. Tighten them up and show you where I'm at. Okay, so they're both in. Tighten them up. Of course, I put them in by eye. They're about the same. Of course, if it's not perfect, and I'm sure it won't have much effect on the bike, but if they are dramatically different in size, it can have sort of a negative effect on the steering head bearing, extra pressure stresses, and it'll just it'll knacker it really quickly. Okay, but they're in on. Of course, you want to make sure, you know, these two facing each other now, ready for the mudguard and all that. But yeah, no, it's looking much better. I like the black forks. I want to got that black top bit there, that'll be nice, but certainly looking more like a bike each time. So I think next will be the wheels, but maybe let's have a rolling frame then, it'll be a lot better. But that is it, very simple. Of course, when you're doing that with measurements, to check the handbook. You know, some bikes are probably more difficult to find, or ask someone, I'm sure they'll tell you, but as a rule, you know, a couple of mil, 2-3 mil from the top will be absolutely fine. But yeah, that is it, very simple. 6 bolts down, nice and tight, and yeah, on to the next one. So that's it, but thank you very much for watching, and I hope this helps someone. And again, please subscribe, because there will be more content coming soon. So thank you very much, and goodbye.